So ever since I did that video on the way to create something is to not want it, I wanted to do this practice. Now, ironically, I think I'm wearing the same clothes as I was in that video. That was not intentional. So I wanted to do this energy practice because there's often a great deal of misconception about how we move into a new vibration. And each person is unique. So some people don't need as much as other people in terms of like releasing resistance because you have an unconscious, you're unconsciously competent. And you don't have a lot of resistance. So an affirmation might take you there. However, a lot of people are really trying to force their way in. And so, but learning to transmute the energy is it's so key. And so it not only moves you into another vibration, it's an excellent way to reprogram at the subconscious, because the subconscious is like the vast majority is your body. It's when your body essentially just operates out of like automatic response. As I've said before, your traumatic response, your emotional traumatic experiences, these don't necessarily come up as memories. And I'm going to follow this up in a minute in a like really interesting, or at least I thought was interesting, experience to demonstrate this. So your emotional trauma shows up as a response. It could be fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So for example, if someone says something and you immediately want to push them away, you want to push them out of your life, that's like a flight response. If someone does something and you struggle to speak what it is you need, that's like a freeze or fawn response, and so on. So you get the point. Now, the experiences that create this, when we think of trauma, we often think of like abuse, neglect, blah, 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 blah. Now, children don't have a lot of rational thought. They operate basically entirely from the limbic system. So they're very emotionally driven. And so I've said this before, but like really innocuous experiences can create like an energetic set point, you could say. So it's going to be like a response, fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And so I have an area where I consistently have been procrastinating or inconsistent. And so I just did a coaching session today where I was the client and we were addressing this because this is a pattern for me. It seems like a behavior pattern, but it's actually driven by the somatic, the feelings, which then, has accompanying thoughts. So anyhow, we went through and we were in part of the process. A memory came up from when I was young. One kid in my class had said something to another kid, and whatever they had said had caused the one child to cry. And so she ran to our teacher and told her. And so the teacher sat us all down in a circle and was demonstrating have you ever seen where you put the toothpaste, you try to put the toothpaste back in the tube, basically to demonstrate like what you say matters. Some things you can't take back. Now, this is not really about that. This is really more about that memory came up and I realized even though I never would have made the direct connection to the two, when I look at the overall message of that memory, it is in complete context to where it is I'm procrastinating, even though when I think about the two, they're not even close to the same. If that hadn't come up in a session, I never would have guessed in a million years. And it's not even like it was a hidden memory. It's sort of like a memory that like floats up every once in a while and seems to have like no relationship to anything at all. Surprise, it actually does. So anyhow, I wanted to take you through this process because a lot of people are trying to get rid of their feelings. And that is the best way to increase your resistance. You don't get rid of energy. Energy cannot be, it's not created, it's not destroyed, so you don't get rid of it. And so the more you try to get rid of it, like this feeling, it's not going away. Yes, that's usually an indication of A, you're not present enough with it, or B, and generally these two actually are the same thing, you're not present enough with it, so there's a story running. And again, not all of our stories are readily available at the front of our mind. So you want to be able to get really present, like really so present in this moment, like you are in the now moment, because peace exists in the now moment. And that often will allow you to transmute something. But true transmuting is to just shift the energy. And so this is going to be a short process. And so you have to determine whether you need to do this more times, whether you need to sit longer. This was sort of like just to the collective conscious, to whatever was coming up for me in that moment when I did this. So hopefully this helps you really learn to powerfully shift your own energy. If I say the way to create something, so she's gonna move and my phone is gonna, you don't need to look at me in this video. So if it goes out of focus, sorry, it's the cat. The cat's fault. Okay, so anyway, so I said to create something, you want to not want it. Now, most people hear that and they think psychologically wanting it, but this is not what this is talking about. As I mentioned, I'm only and always ever talking about your energy, right? Your energy and your perceptions. These are both vibrations. Okay, so I wanted to take you through this process. So the first thing we're gonna do is you need to get yourself really comfortable. I mean, not like bedtime comfortable, but just like settle into your space. And I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold at the top. And you want to exhale, allowing your breath to be, your exhale to be longer. And this signals your body to relax. And you want to take another deep breath in. Hold at the top. And let out a long exhale. And I want you to find just a really relaxed pattern of breathing, however feels most natural and relaxing to you. And you can do this with your eyes open or closed. But I want you to notice the loudest sound around you. And then the quietest sound. And I want you to notice if there's a taste in your mouth. And then move your awareness down to notice a tingling at the bottom of your feet. And notice if there's a scent in the air. Maybe there's a more dominant scent. And then the subtle scent. Like there's the passing of your soap or perfume or cologne. I want you to notice the rhythm of your heart beating. And notice the feeling of the air on your skin, or maybe your clothing. The softness or firmness of whatever you might be sitting on. I want you to notice the sensation of the room that you're in, or the vehicle, or wherever it is you are. Everything has its own energetic experience. So wherever you are, I want you to notice the energetic experience of that space. And then just move your awareness into your heart space and notice what's there. If you're able, just open it a little. And if it doesn't, don't force it. If it doesn't feel like it wants to open, or maybe it feels it wants to contract, allow that. It's important to just allow, not force or make. Just feel what's there. And just notice any thoughts that come up. And then I want you to bring to mind what it is that you want. What it is you want to create into your life. And I want you to see it on the screen of your mind. Remembering to keep breathing in a relaxed way. And just notice if your body tenses at all when you think about it. Or where it might be alive inside of you. Is it contractive or expansive? For the purpose of this exercise, if it's expansive, you don't need this one. We're looking for contraction. This is that lacking, that wanting. And so just notice. Is there a part of you that feels like a yearning? Almost like it's trying to pull. Or however the sensation feels for you. Often for me it feels like a pulling, like something inside of me wants to pull something from the external. And so just notice, but notice your individual unique sensation around it. And keep breathing and relax. And just notice if there are any images that come up. And I want you to just let them pass. And if you get caught in your inner dialogue, I want you to bring your attention back to the activated contraction, wherever that is, that wanting, that needing, missing, longing, desiring, whatever that is, however you would describe that, notice where it's active. And breathe and relax. And you want to bring as much of your attention into that space. And if you still have thoughts, each time you notice one, I want you to redirect and put all of your attention on that sensation. And some of you will only be able to touch the tip of this because it will be outside of your window of tolerance, and that's okay. Do not force it because you will increase your resistance. You come at resistance bringing safety. You bring safety to your resistance. So I want you to just breathe and be with that in whatever way feels okay. And relaxing, and just invite the sensation to begin to spread. And for some of you, there may be an image that comes up. And if there is, I want you to thank it. And breathe and relax. And I want you to notice, without a visual image, Where's the edge of your body? Can you feel the boundary of your body? Without a visual image, entirely by feeling. And then I want you to bring your awareness back to where that contracted space is and be as present. Come into this moment. Don't let the mind pull you into the past, pull you into the future. Be with that sensation in this moment, right now. So that it almost begins to fill your entire awareness, and let it begin to expand and bleed beyond that somatic boundary of your body, that sensory boundary. As you allow your body to really become one with the space that you're in right now. And if you can, I want you to see that sensation as a part of you that wants something for you so much. That part of you, it really loves you. It's mistaken about how to get what it wants, but I want you to see the innocence in it. And if you can, I want you to begin to feel some compassion. Compassion for the part of you that's missing something, missing someone, wanting something. Some love for it, because it loves you so much that it wants something from you, for you. Gratitude for all its efforts, even if they're misguided. And then if the contraction is still there, allow the contraction to continue to bleed and expand. Almost like when you drop food dye into a glass of water and it begins to expand and lighten as it does. Just keeping your body relaxed. And then if you can invite in that feeling of love for that part of you, just allowing it to be there. It's not wrong. It's just mistaken. It just comes in innocence. And take deep breaths. I want you to stay with this for as long as you're able. Feeling the love for it. And then feeling it. Feeling the contraction, but letting it be there. The goal is not to make it go away. Because that's a part of you that needs compassion and love more than any other part. When you learn to source that within yourself, the world reflects that back to you. So I hope this helped. And this is a practice for releasing wanting. Turning the energy of wanting into the energy of having. The energy of lack into love and gratitude. And you might have to do this more than one time. If you have a pattern that has shown up your entire lifetime, a pattern of thinking and feeling, then we often have to nurture that part. And you're going to nurture it long term. I mean, when they say you change the nervous system or the subconscious by repetition, this is the kind of thing that you want to be repeating. This is what's the most impactful. And so I hope this was helpful, and yeah, until next time, live like you can't fail.